chicken jockey.
Well, Minecraft blew up on the big screen in a major way, garnering large crowds of rowdy 12-year-olds and breaking the record for the highest grossing opening weekend at the domestic box office for a video game movie ever at $163 million. Globally, it hit $313 million. That's better than Mario Brothers, Five Nights at Freddy's, and any Sonic movie. Hell, it beat Barbie. This thing has generated countless meme videos and has clearly done something right with the fans of the franchise. So it must be good, right? Right? You do get to see the closest thing to Jack Black and Jason Momoa 69ing that you're ever likely to see. So there's that.
Oh my God, are you all right? Your head is huge.
I'm not going to bury the lead. I thought this movie was terrible. And I think anyone looking for a decent story or entertaining plot probably will also. It's more of an Easter egg delivery system aimed squarely at its 12-year-old fans or those who grew up playing the game, which does not include me. Don't get me wrong, I'm a lifelong gamer, and I remain so to this day, with a shocking amount of games on my Steam account, most of which I haven't played. Damn Steam sales. But this game and this phenomenon totally passed me by. Now, that isn't to say that I don't get the hype. I remember what it was like to get excited for something I loved, before Disney put an end to that. It's just that this movie and this hype train clearly weren't made for me. I get it. And yet, just because it's a family movie based on a video game I have no affinity for, doesn't mean the story needs to be threadbare and the adventure mostly devoid of wonder, creativity, and discovery, does it? The characters in Minecraft are pretty underwhelming, with the exception of Jason Momoa's Garrett and Jack Black's Steve, for very different reasons. Garrett is a 1980s arcade bro running a game store in a small town. He's stuck in the past, glorifying his one achievement, like an Al Bundy type. He's generally clueless, egotistical, insecure, and clumsy. But I thought Jason Momoa did the best job in the film. His character is at least entertaining and can provoke a few chuckles. All the character flaws are communicated in a pretty silly way, but I found him to be likable despite all of his hamminess. I don't think you could accuse him of phoning his performance in. Jack Black also doesn't phone it in, but man, is he ever annoying. This is Jack Black playing a caricature of himself, dialed up to 11. His line delivery is over the top, every single time.
This is a crafting table. Here's how it works.
It's this, for every line of dialogue. I guess that's the point or something, but I couldn't take it by the end. He's a one-note character with little variation, and the movie introduces him right away, with a long narration telling us about the Minecraft world, Steve's discovery of it, the perils he finds there, and the circumstances that have led up to the very moment we meet our new characters. Think Jumanji with all the wonder ripped out of it. Talk about tell and not show. This sucks most of the sense of adventure and discovery out of the movie for us as an audience, because the Minecraft world has already been laid out for us before the other characters even set foot in it. There's nothing to discover, world building wise. When the kid figures out how to build things with blocks, it isn't amazing or interesting because we've already seen Steve doing that and more in the very drawn out intro. This was a baffling decision in terms of storytelling, one that could have only come from the minds of a committee of substandard Hollywood writers. By my count, 8 of them. The young boy, Henry, is a quasi-genius with his head in the clouds and a knack for problem solving. He's alright as far as the other characters go, but he's severely overshadowed by Jason Momoa and Jack Black. Steve essentially takes the role of the curious but resourceful child, who's now a man-child, who's already done everything. The backstory around Henry and his sister Natalie, who's passed off as a responsible executive but looks about 16, is generic as it gets. The kids are forced to move to a new town with unfamiliar people following the death of their parents. And that's about as far as that plotline goes. Dawn, a real estate agent with a petting zoo in her van, is sucked into the adventure and given hardly any screen time, along with Natalie, who are both off on some side quest for most of the runtime, while the movie focuses on the dudes, which I don't really have a problem with because that's where the interesting stuff is happening, but the ladies felt really underutilized. And of course we have Jennifer Coolidge, aka Stifler's mom.
But I'll tell you, none of these women even compare to
Stifler's mom,
who doesn't do anything in the movie except date a Minecraft villager and ham it up for comedy relief. She doesn't even go to the Minecraft world. Totally unnecessary, except her bits were probably my favorite in the whole movie. She's got a shtick, and she knows how to use it.
You know, he didn't have any personality. Not like you.
She's basically the same character as in The White Lotus. Story wise, the whole thing feels like a lackluster retread of a quest to claim the items that Steve had already acquired before. There's an evil witch piglin, Malgosia, who wants the Tesseract so she can conquer the overworld. Our heroes have to stop her by recrafting the damaged box the Tesseract sits in order to escape back to the real world. And many shenanigans ensue within that framework. The issue is that there's very little creativity or crafting in the whole thing. It's Minecraft, where the limits of what you can build are only restrained by your imagination. But there's hardly any crafting going on at all, let alone in a clever way. There is some at the finale, which is pretty cool to see, but this movie would have really benefited from leaning into the creative aspect of the property it's based on. Most of the time, enemies are dealt with by punching and kicking. Most of the jokes are pretty juvenile, which is fine given the target audience, and there are some decent ones in there, but the focus of the film really lands squarely on fan service. There are deep cuts in here that I had no idea about, like referencing Minecraft streamers in the movie in the form of villagers, or the pig with the crown being an homage to the most famous Minecraft YouTuber, Technoblade, who sadly passed away from cancer a few years ago. They went over my head. But I think it's a nice touch for fans of a franchise to actually see things they know and like in a movie about the property they love. It's a major departure from most genre films these days, where the creators work as hard as they can to change the movie into something unrecognizable from what the fans actually like. So I have to give credit where credit's due, and the fans certainly seem to appreciate it. At the end of the day, this is a G rated, video game based adventure movie, but for me falls far short of other similar adventure movies like Jumanji and Tron, or other recent video game based movies like Mario Brothers and Sonic. For your average moviegoer interested in pesky things like plot, characters, and a sense of wonder, I'd say this is a 3 out of 10. But for fans of the property, this is probably the best thing you could have hoped for, by all indications. Well, that's all I've got for now. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.